Hey guys, welcome to another election prediction video. Today is actually Saturday, 8/2016, and there are exactly 79 days left in the general election campaigning, at least until election day, which is November 8th. I'm recording this on Saturday because I didn't get a chance to do it yesterday, Friday, 1:35 p.m. Central Time, and let's get started. So today I'm going to use primary information, which I have on a separate computer to translate into this, and you can go look at the primary information if you want, because I am using real primary information today. So we're also using our pundit map, which is leans, likely, or solid, or toss-up for a candidate, and I'm going to tell you there's going to be several toss-ups, but I am going to tell you that there will be a winner in the selection prediction video. I can promise you that, at least. So get ready. We're just going to go ahead and start off here at California. 55 electoral votes. It's really a no-brainer. It doesn't matter what's going to happen. It's going to go solid for Hillary Clinton. It's actually went Republican, I think, 20 times, according to a comment, 22 times, according to a comment on my previous YouTube video. So, and we both agreed with each other that it wasn't going to go Republican again for a while. So, like California, it's not going to go Republican for a while. Moving north to Oregon, 7 electoral votes, which is probably going to go pretty solidly, or not solidly. I'm going to go probably moderately blue. I had it red last election prediction video. That's only because Trump was having a better week in those and a better week, basically last week. Than the week before that, following the Democratic National Convention, so I thought it could have a possibility of polling numbers going up, but polling numbers never really went up for Trump in the state of Oregon. Another no-brainer, Washington, 12 electoral votes will go for Hillary Clinton. Moving south to one of the 2016 battleground states, Nevada, 6 electoral votes. Right here, it's going to be hard to predict because we really do have some things that we're going to have to consider here. First off, Hillary Clinton did really good in the southern part of that. That includes Clark County, where Las Vegas is, but she did not do well in Washoe County, which is where Reno is, losing by 10 points, where Trump won a massive margin by probably maybe 10 to 20 points in the lead over Marco Rubio. So with that being said, we're gonna have to watch Washoe County really closely, where Reno is, for particular polling, because it's kind of hard to predict right now what would happen. But I think Las Vegas overall would put Hillary Clinton over the top, especially if Trump and Clinton had a close margin in Washoe County. So right now we're gonna go leans blue for the 6 electoral votes in Nevada battleground state. And moving on to a state south of that, which I also consider as a battleground state for the last beginning of the month now, since the beginning of August. I have the primary information up for this too. Hillary Clinton did exceptional in the state of Arizona. So I'm really considering what's going to happen, especially in the 4 counties that I told you guys the other day, especially Maricopa County, where Phoenix is located, where she won by an extremely wide margin over Bernie Sanders, whereas Trump won also by an extremely wide margin. But Hillary Clinton did win by a bigger margin in Phoenix than Donald Trump did in Phoenix, too. She won 58.1%, and Donald Trump won 46.2%. So with that being said, 11 electoral votes in Arizona, I'm going to have to lean blue, because the polls are also in her favor. Either that or Trump's winning by, 0.5%, less than 1% in the polls. So either way, I think I'm going to lean blue. It'll be a close race, and I'm not going to argue about that, but it's going to be interesting to see what Arizona actually turns out as the election unfolds. But we'll have to see what goes on after the debates and such after that. So moving up to Utah, it's pretty a no-brainer. Even though Gary Johnson pulled well there for a while, I think Trump's still going to win it by a very wide margin, most likely. I did have it likely red for a little while, but I don't think I'm going to put it likely red because it just doesn't make sense. The media will never project a third party as a winner in a state, and with that being said, Trump would probably have more of the vote there in Utah, so that makes a lot of sense there. Moving north to 4 electoral votes in Idaho, I also believe that that will go solid red. That's a no-brainer at all. I don't even have to look at primary information or demographics to decide that Idaho would probably go red, and in fact by a wide margin most likely. Probably every county in that state I could put my money on would go red. So, moving on to Montana, which is going to be a closer state than Idaho or Utah, but I also think it's going to go solid red to 3 electoral votes, same as Wyoming. These northern states are really good about their guns, and with the Second Amendment thing being like that, it's going to be interesting. But since Trump said that his supporters who are gun backers can stop Hillary Clinton with the Second Amendment, they're very smart with their guns. They may not want to get rid of their guns, but they're very smart with their guns. So many of them would find that comment as irrational and very dangerous thing to say. So with that being said, it could be a closer margin in states like Montana, North Dakota, and South Dakota, in which I'm still putting solid red at the time. And all 3 of those states are 9 electoral votes. As much as Hillary Clinton would love to win that, she doesn't really need it to win the election. But Trump doesn't need it either to win the election. He just has to focus real well on the battleground states, too. So moving south to Colorado, which is 9 electoral votes, and I'm not considering this a battleground state, this election, because it's gone pretty solidly blue in the past 2 elections where Obama won them by a pretty wide margin. So I think Colorado is going to be solidly for Democrats this election. Same with New Mexico. Although Gary Johnson does take votes away from both candidates, I still think Hillary Clinton has a better chance at winning it than Donald Trump would any day. Nebraska is a no-brainer, probably one of the most Republican states in the union, right behind probably Oklahoma. So that's someplace where it's probably doesn't even take time to think about that. Republican, no problem. Now about the the second congressional district to the first congressional district. One of the congressional districts, I do believe will go blue, and I believe it will be 1 electoral vote at least for Secretary Clinton. As you know, Mitt Romney lost 3 electoral votes in Nebraska in the 2012 election to Barack Obama, who won those 2 extra votes there. So he lost 2 votes, and Obama won those 2 votes. So I'm only having Clinton with 1 vote. So Donald Trump will probably win 4 votes from that state overall. So that's pretty solidly for red otherwise. South to Kansas, which had them very close for a while back about 2 months ago in the polls. But 6 electoral votes in Kansas, I think, is going to go solidly for the Republicans. Oklahoma, 7 electoral votes, I'm understanding, is very wide margin winning for Donald Trump in Oklahoma, and he doesn't even really have to campaign there in order to make that state solid red again this election. But unlike some people don't understand, Oklahoma has Democrats within it. There are counties that specifically go Democratic, especially the College County near Norman, Oklahoma. So I think those counties have a good chance at maybe going for Secretary Clinton, which would close in the margin a little bit, but it'll still go solidly for Donald Trump. Texas, 38 electoral votes, solidly for Trump. It's not that hard to tell that the polls are in his favor and everything else is in his favor pretty much there too. Dallas and Fort Worth, San Antonio, and such areas may go for Hillary Clinton, but it's not enough rural vote to flip the state for Hillary Clinton. Moving north to Minnesota, which isn't going to be that hard to predict as well, probably solidly for the Democrats this election. Minnesota isn't that hard at all. It's gonna mimic the central United States type stuff. And I've read an article on a valid political website that is telling me that the new campaign manager for Donald Trump could ruin his chances at winning any Midwest state. To be completely honest, with the exception of course, Kentucky and Indiana, where Mike Pence is from, and the solid state of Kentucky. But any other one, like Missouri, could be in play. Michigan definitely in play, which is still in play as a battleground state pretty much. So moving over down to Iowa, which I also have the primary results here. This was very close for the Democratic side, and that's why I'm concerned that Hillary Clinton might not be able to pull off this state. But overall, I think she can win the state because I read those little comments to you in the last election prediction video on in terms of the voter totals in the state of Iowa. So that's going to be interesting, but I think it's solidly, or it's at least going to lean Democrat because the counties that Hillary Clinton did really good in, Donald Trump did not do very good in, and the margin was 49.9% for Hillary Clinton, 24.3% for Donald Trump, and Ted Cruz won that state. So I think that's going to go pretty much leans blue. Although I said Missouri may be in play, I still think I'm going to keep it solidly red for the time being until we get some more information on if it even will get close to being in play. Arkansas and Louisiana are probably going to go solidly red because Donald Trump visited the flood victims in Louisiana yesterday, I believe, and that would rack up the votes, but it's Republican stronghold, so it's not going to really do much in terms of his vote. And Arkansas, depending on how well Bill Clinton can do and how much he gets attacked by Donald Trump, we'll see what happens there. Wisconsin, I think, is going to go solidly blue, mostly because the southeast part of the state. Illinois, no brainer, goes blue. Northeast part of the state and northern portion of the state in general, and the southern rural part goes red most of the time. Now, Michigan isn't also in play once again. It's a battleground state, and I have the primary information here. Hillary Clinton didn't do too well, but she lost by 1 percentage point in that state. But I think overall that she could win that because she won 48.3 and Donald Trump won 36.5. Of course, he had more opponents to hold him back, but I think Hillary Clinton can go lean at least that state by a little bit. So now down to Indiana, Mike Pence, 11 electoral votes. That pretty much saves him that state. And that's probably going to go Republican this election. And same with Kentucky, West Virginia, and not Virginia, sorry. But Tennessee will also go solid for the Republicans, 8, 11, and 5 electoral votes. Now, Ohio is going to be interesting to predict. I'm going to be predicting different stuff the next couple election prediction videos, but this election particular, I'm going to go leans blue, 18 electoral votes. In the South, of course, it's not hard. Mississippi, Alabama go South Carolina for the Republicans. I do believe that Florida will lean to the Republicans this election. I do have the Georgia primary information here for you. And in the counties that Hillary Clinton did really well, which was pretty much every county, she won 71.3%, Donald won 38.8%, and she won more counties than Donald. I think, sorry Ben, no offense, but I think Georgia is going to lean blue no matter the logic. Also North Carolina primary information. In North Carolina, she didn't do too well in the little panhandle part of it, which is west of Charlotte, but she did well in the rest of the state, and Donald Trump didn't do too well. Like, he lost to Ted Cruz, and in counties that Hillary Clinton really did good. But Hillary won 54.6% to 40.2% on Donald Trump's margin. It's going to be a close state, but I'm understanding personally, according to polls and primary and demographics, that it may lean blue. Now, Tim Kaine, you can't say that Indiana will go solid red and not Virginia because I'm pretty sure that Tim Kaine has flipped that state for her. Massachusetts, all of these states I believe will probably go solidly blue, except for Connecticut, which I have likely blue. So, shoot. No brainer. I think Pennsylvania is going to lean blue this election. The convention was really well, as well as New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and I think Maine will also lean blue. We'll talk more about that in later election prediction videos, because those states are really going to be interesting. Alaska, solid blue, and Hawaii, solid blue. So, I'm going to wrap up that election prediction video there. Hillary Clinton, 346, and Donald Trump, 192. Thank you for watching this election prediction video. Click like and share this video. Thanks for watching.